What's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Save Continue podcast, where every week we talk about video games and related topics, try to have a good time. My name is Ryan Robinson. With me, as always, Tom Shelby.
Hello.
Shanee Howard.
Sup?
And we are going to start the show with Tom. What are you up to?
So, I've been playing like way too many awesome games this week,
Okay.
and I feel like it would take the whole show to talk about them all. So I'm just going to bring up a couple.
Okay.
Berto bought me Underground, Battlegrounds,
Ow.
and that's been fun. I'm not very good at it, but I'm having fun with it.
Okay. How'd you place?
Well, my first game was my best, actually.
Okay.
Got like 14 or 15,
That's pretty good.
and that was on my own.
I saw you and Berto get in the top 30.
Yeah, but like, Berto's ashamed if we don't get first, you know?
That's just him being super competitive.
Yeah.
It's why me and him have a hard time playing video games together.
And so that's been fun. Also, by the time this post, there will already be a video on us playing Nex Machina: Death Machine.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you seem super psyched about that game.
I wasn't. Like, I like Housemark.
After you'd played it.
Yeah, I like Housemark, but I wasn't like super looking forward to this. I was looking forward to Matterfall,
Yeah.
which was announced before this game. But yeah, that game, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's the best Housemark game.
Right on. You can't really talk about it.
Oh no, we can talk about it now.
Okay.
I mean, this won't post until Thursday, so yeah.
Okay.
Twin stick shooter, like most of their games are.
Right.
Very similar in gameplay to Stardust. Like less Dead Nation, Alien Nation, more Stardust, like fast,
Right.
with like bullet hell elements to it.
Okay.
But it's got like the little green people to save, like Resogun.
I like that.
And like visually, there's a lot going on screen, right? Like there's all the fire from you and from enemies. At the same time, like camera perspective changes from time to time. So it's top down, but like it'll go behind the shoulder every now and then.
Cool.
And like an insane amount of voxels. So like for those that don't know, games like Knack, even though it wasn't a good game, showed that off very well. So did Resogun, and this kind of blows those away. Like it's awesome.
Cool.
So watch that.
Cool. One more game, Tom.
Well, I want to talk about Kentucky Route Zero, but I'm gonna check it out on that next week.
Okay.
I've been playing Owlboy.
Yeah, you were playing that when I got here.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a very pretty game.
Yeah, it's real pretty. You're a little owl boy.
I was like, are you a pretty owl boy? Is what my question was going to be.
Well, you know, like, it's weird because you're, like, in this town and, like, most of the people in town are really mean to you.
Because you're an owl boy.
And you're a mute. And they make fun of you because you're a mute.
That's rude.
But not because you're an owl boy.
No, they just think that you're kind of... like most of the town is owl people.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun game, though.
Right on.
Yeah.
Shanae, how was last weekend?
Last weekend was tough, but fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was on my feet with like no AC outside in Dallas all weekend, like 9 to 11 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then it was
But you're
also,
making that paper, though.
yeah, and then also like the driving bit was just like real rough towards the end.
Yeah.
And I was like working a lot of days beforehand. Well, I should have taken like a day off because I knew it was going to be like rough and standing up. But yeah, it was still fun.
That's a good 5-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, it was fun. I was with our friend James Wells from the Friendcast, or what used to be the Friendcast, and his girlfriend. And me and her, I've been friends before they started dating, so it was really fun. I get to hang out with people that like I enjoy hanging out with, and be silly, and
Because we don't let you do that.
yeah, y'all never.
Right.
I always have to be so serious here. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I brought card games, so we didn't really get a chance to play them. I brought Exploding Kittens and
Old Maid.
and Old Maid, and I think I forgot what it's called. It's like Battle for Witch Mountain or for Wizard Mountain or something.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like basically who can be the best wizard in the game. It's pretty fun. But we didn't really get to play that. I did bring my laptop with me, so I did get some. And the internet there was kind of shitty. So I played some of my old ROMs that I have on there that I haven't touched in a long time, which is why I talked about that Inuyasha one for check it out. Because I had played that a little bit when I was there. I also brought my DS, so I played 999 again.
Nice.
When I get back, I'm trying to beat Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
And still working on that. And yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
Oh, and I've been playing that Kingdom Hearts Cross Union game on my phone a lot. Like, I had a lot of time, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do a big grocery shopping trip.
The game that killed the drops.
Yeah, I haven't touched drops in like 2 weeks.
You still have it installed?
Oh, for sure. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm ever gonna uninstall. I still have Pokemon Go installed.
Okay. Because
Jesus.
you never know.
You know what? Every now and then when I'm in like a board in a new place and I remember that I have that, I just see what's around. Just because like I know like now they like changed it a lot more and a lot more often and like where nests are and stuff. But it's just fun to see what's in a region. Like when I was in Las Vegas, I opened it up probably for like a good 10 minutes. Just to see what was different. Just because like I don't know, I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Pokemon Company just put out a game on mobile devices.
It's like Doodle Jump, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Like it's basically Doodle Jump, right?
Yeah, people are really into it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I guess not with the same intensity that people were into Pokemon Go at first. But I mean, this is actual game made by the Pokemon Company, so I mean, I don't know if that makes it better, but you know,
Buy it.
yeah, I think it's free actually. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't check, but
So did Niantic make it or did
you can pull it up. It's actual Pokemon Company.
I actually screen capped it for the kids to let them know.
Did you?
Magikarp Jump.
Magikarp Jump, that's what it was. Yeah. I don't know. People seem to really like. I have no idea what
Doodle Jump.
I have no idea what the game is about. But if I play Doodle Jump, I guess I have an idea of what it's about.
I don't know that it's like that. I just assumed that that's what it is.
I'm downloading it, so I'll let y'all know in a couple hours.
Give us your expert review on that. So
You know, we could actually capture gameplay of that now.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should go ahead and do that.
We could do a Sailor Moon Drops gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We could do it long play style, so
Yeah,
it's just like
I
no talking. It's just you playing that.
It'd be like a lot of if they did any video of me playing it, it would. I mean, y'all see it all the time. It just would be super into my phone.
Yeah.
And a
So
ball, just like and then.
basically normal.
But y'all get to see the cutie animations.
Okay. I didn't know that it had a whole lot of those. I thought it was just
Yeah, like oops, sorry.
It's not time
Magikarp
for
Jump.
that.
it is not time.
Yeah, no, each of the characters in Sailor Moon Drops has when they do their special attacks, do like little poses, and as like you level them up, you can get them to do a new pose. And like if you're doing well while you're playing, they'll do like happy faces and jumping around. And if you're doing badly, like you haven't gotten a match in a little bit, they'll be like sad face and just be like, oh no.
So the poses are the carrot on the stick in that game?
It's just one of the prizes, I guess. So yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a fun little thing to add to the game.
Yeah.
Because you see them while you're playing, and they're just like watching, and they're like right above the board. So it's fun seeing them get to see like do new emotions and stuff.
Cool. Guys, I've been on a hunt lately for roguelikes.
Yeah, you talked about that.
Yeah, like that hunt has kind of intensified as of late. So I'd played pretty much the ones that, well,
Titan Souls.
I didn't play Titan Souls, no.
Okay.
So I played a few of the ones that people are kind of really crazy about. Like I played Rogue Legacy, I've played Spelunky.
Great games.
You know, and I don't know what it is because I very much know that Rogue Legacy is a really good game, but it never really resonated with me. I guess I really couldn't get into it.
Do you feel like it's just do you feel like if you hadn't played a roguelike in a while and then you played it, you would enjoy it more? But since like, or do you think that like just like oversaturating yourself with the same genre made you change your opinion on it?
No, because I had played Rogue Legacy at a time when I wasn't really playing any roguelikes, and at first I was having a really good time with it, and then I guess it's just, I don't know, something about it. Just I couldn't really get into it.
Enter the Gungeon.
Enter the Gungeon is one that I'm actually really into.
Yeah, we did check it out on it.
Did we?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Gungeon. Because with like you're playing as the gun.
No.
You're playing as a bullet.
Bullet, whatever. Okay.
That's also not true. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been searching for them a lot lately. Like last week I talked about Crypt of the Necrodancer and Nuclear Throne, and that was.
And I listened. Y'all sounded like sweet babies.
We're always sweet babies. Oh, I'll take a.
Just being a sweet baby over here.
Thank you. So, I don't know. I've just been really looking for them, and the offerings on, the platforms that are available to me aren't, extensive, right? But I did get some time with a couple new ones and revisited some that I like. I think I did check it out on a game called Everspace, months ago, which is
Ziggurat.
Ziggurat is pretty good too. But Everspace just left early access 2 days ago. So where they added like a story to it and some other stuff, and like they've optimized it better so it runs a lot better now. And then I checked out a few like really kind of inexpensive ones on the Xbox One, I should say. And I don't know, I just like I've had this urge to just find a really good roguelike, right? And
Downwell
is pretty good.
Excuse me?
It's pretty good.
It's fantastic.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
I meant it's fantastic. But I don't know. So I guess it got me to the point where I'm just like, I feel like not all of them, but there are a lot more of them to choose from on PC.
I'm sure that's true.
Yeah. And I don't know if they're any better or not, but
Nah.
the fact of the matter is, I've been talking more recently about building getting a PC, finally, after not having had a PC, like really a PC for years now. I think the last time I got one was in 2009.
Yeah, you and I were texting last night. I'm pretty sure we agreed that you would get a Gateway.
Yeah, so check it out, Shanee. With a Gateway, you get a Pentium 2, 256 megabytes of RAM, which is pretty much good enough to run any version of the original Doom on the market.
Also comes in a Cal box.
Yeah, which is
Ooh,
a primary incentive there.
That's all right. I don't know why you're looking or even deciding about this. Why haven't you bought this?
I don't know why. I need to go back to 1995 and get that Gateway. But one of the things about getting a PC is that people talk about it all the time. PC versus console. Console is just plug and play. It's going to work. Whatever PlayStation 4 disc you put in there, you can reasonably expect it to work, right?
Sure.
Or at least it'll run. The quality of the game is another conversation entirely, but it'll play the game just as well as anybody else's PS4, right?
Yeah.
And then I was talking when I was texting Tom about it last night. One of the things about getting a PC is that there's just, for me personally, there's so many what ifs. Like, what if this? No, what if I can't do this?
Right.
What if I run into all these problems, and I don't know. But one of the things that made me laugh is last week when Berto was here, we were trying to get Dark Souls to run, and we couldn't figure out what the problem was. And long story short, it turned out that we needed to unplug the controller and then start the game. And it's just like things like that it was just
Well, it's like I told you with like Typing of the Dead wanting to run off of integrated graphics and it not telling me that. You're gonna run into problems, but I've not found a game yet that I could not make work.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
that's what I was about to say. I was like, you have all these what ifs, but honestly, like all of those what ifs are things that can be fixed, things that can be solved. This game doesn't play on this computer. Why doesn't it do that? Can you change that? More than likely, the answer is going to be yes.
Well, see, a lot of the anxiety comes from the fact that I can't make this purchase very often, right? And so a lot of it comes from that, and I think that, as Shanee said, a lot of my concerns could be addressed in a reasonable amount of time. But it's just kind of, it just leaves me wondering, like, how long is this thing going to be good for? And I feel like I don't know enough about this stuff to really say.
It's like anything. You will, as you have it and you use it, and you come across these problems and you fix them, and you get more comfortable with the system and setup.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever is like coming out of date, like graphics card or whatever,
Yeah.
like you can just like, yes, it is a big purchase, but like you can buy the new ones. Like once it gets to a point where like you can't do what you want to do and you're having more drawbacks than successes and enjoyment, I think that's the time that you're gonna put money aside to like upgrade it.
Yeah.
It's like, because I mean, I just feel like with like playing the older games and just wanting a specific type of roguelike, I feel like you're gonna have more even buying whatever like gaming laptop or gaming PC that's already like a setup thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those are gonna play on it.
Right.
You're gonna find a plethora of things that you want that will work more than you will find things that won't.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, it's true. And I know that, it'll come out to where I'm okay. It's just, and that's another thing too, is that whole choice paralysis thing.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like you should pull the trigger and you'll feel better about it. I feel like you're having way too much like questioning on this. I think that you should do it.
No, I'm gonna do it. Like it's not a if, it's more like a matter of when. But man, there are a lot of games on that.
Well, I'm saying
fucking
pull the
Steam.
trigger and just like set like a time and a date you're gonna go do it.
Well, we talked about this last week. Like, yes, there are significantly more games on Steam than either current gen console, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Steam's been out for fucking ever.
Sure.
And we've talked about it on the show before, the amount of games that release to Steam seem to almost double every year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One thing to consider, and I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a PC, you absolutely should. We talked about this last week that, like, there are more good games on Steam than there are on current gen consoles. There is also a significant amount more trash on Steam.
But I mean, it's also not just Steam. Like,
Right.
like I said, this week I've been playing
Origin, good old games, whatever.
I've been playing my emulators because like a lot of the games that I do download, I've said before, I can't buy new. There's nothing this money's gonna really go to like as entities besides like GameStop buying a used version of something and then having to have the console or whatever. I am totally fine getting emulators and doing ROMs for that. And yeah, like I don't know. I think it's another option that I like having with the PC.
Does Xbox Play Anywhere, like for me, if I was going to buy a new PC now, Xbox Play Anywhere might make me sell my Xbox One to help fund that.
Yeah, that was a consideration.
Yeah.
Because I've said before that I really think that Play Anywhere makes the Xbox redundant.
I mean, there are a couple of games that you cannot play on PC, like Sunset Overdrive.
Sure.
But going forward, knowing that Microsoft published games will be available on PC,
Right.
And
the whole reason for me getting the Xbox One in the first place was because of the game, because of those console exclusives.
Right.
And I mean, if I can just play those on my PC along with however many other games there are,
Thousands of other games.
yeah,
And playing those games with better settings on
Yeah.
your PC.
So I mean, yeah, that's definitely something that I've thought about because, to be quite honest, as of present, there are only a couple of games that I play on my Xbox that they're also available on PC. Like, not even just they're not Microsoft publishing, they're just on
Sure.
PC also.
And I know you have like a bunch of 360 games, so the backwards compatibility is there, which is nice, but you also have a 360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that the the existence of a PC will negate the necessity for an Xbox One. But I mean, we'll see, because I still have a few friends that can I play on Xbox Live on that?
Yes. It's the exact same interface as the Xbox
Just
One.
everything is the same.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no point. I don't know. It's while I have a lot of anxiety about the purchase, it's also an exciting prospect to think about.
It's very exciting.
Because I'm thinking about when Tom was waiting for his computer, and he was like, every time I see him, he's like, give me a new update as to what he's like, man, Ryan, it's almost here. It's almost here.
I remember sitting down and him just being like, it's almost here.
Yeah, and it's a cool. It's like, because I remember back the last time I actually bought a gaming PC, and I remember it feels cool to have a machine that powerful.
Tommy was more hype, I feel like, about his new laptop than he was the Switch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Which is funny. I got my Switch one day, like the day of release, and then my laptop showed up like the next day.
Yeah.
So I was just like overwhelmed with new toys to play with.
Yeah.
But
and I think that you'll probably play your Switch more often when there's more stuff to play on it. But,
sure.
I don't know. It's just it's exciting to think about, like, there are games that, like, because I listen to podcasts and I look online at different ads for different games, and I'm just like, man, it'd be sweet to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because I have, as time goes on, I increasingly feel like I'm missing out.
Well, it's like Berto joked about buying you Battlegrounds, knowing that you don't have a PC yet.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to have it.
Yeah.
When I did get my PC,
I really want to teach you Reddit, because there's
Nah.
because there's subreddits about there's like obviously there's PC subreddits.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of different ones, and there's already like on like good threads for like specific subreddits, they'll like save posts, and like when you go to like information about the community, like the subreddit you're in, it'll be like, it'll be like wanting to buy a new PC or wanting to learn how to build a PC, and it'll have like guides that like users have put out there.
Sure.
And it's like, and you can put out like a thread and just be like, hey, I'm trying to buy a new one. This is what I'm wanting to use it for. This is what I'm wanting to spend. What do you suggest? And people will be like straight up like, oh, if your budget's not enough, like it's a lot like harder in your means. But
I'm looking to spend around $300.
But yeah, there's like there's like people you can turn to and get like real time like advice back.
Yeah. Then there's all those different chips and boards and processors, and
people explain it to you.
Yeah. And I don't feel overwhelmed or lost with it really. I just kind of, there are obviously more considerations when putting something like this together than there are going out to get a console, because they did all the work for you.
Right.
They're built to the same specification every time, so it's overwhelming in some ways, but at the same time, like I said, I'm really excited about it, and it'd be cool because Tom texted me when him and Berta were playing that Battlegrounds. I was like, man, it'd be cool to play that Battlegrounds with my friends.
Supposed to play with Stephanie Melcher tonight.
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
How about I download it tonight, and then I can be the worst player on the team.
Okay.
It'd be cool.
Are you saying I was the worst player on the team, Shanee?
That sounds kind of like what she was alluding to.
I don't know why you would think that I would allude to that. That sounds like nothing I would allude to. Are you saying that I'm a mean person?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I heard there's a lot of shit talking from you last night, so I don't know.
Because Tommy is the oldest person ever.
It's a fun game, though.
Yeah, it looks fun, but man, that game looks stressful. Like,
it definitely can be. Like I was talking to Shadow Ram, a Twitch streamer, last night about it, and he says he bought it and played it, and it stressed him out too much that he just stopped playing it.
Yeah.
But It's fun. There's a lot of hiding. What I like about it is like sometimes I'll go an entire match and only fire my gun like once or twice.
Yeah.
You know.
Because you're always afraid of making the noise.
Yeah, and you're trying to not alert people,
Yeah.
but also stay alive. It's fun.
And there's not a you don't sh- do you show up on a you don't show up on a map when you fire your gun, right?
No, that's a good question. I'm not sure. There's a little radar. I don't think that people show up when they fire though.
Yeah. I think.
But if you're wearing a decent headset, you can kind of hear where stuff's coming from.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun to think about, and there are some games that I've been really wanting to try, and for a while now, and
Steven plays PUBG. You should add him.
No.
Okay.
no, Tom's a lone wolf.
Okay.
I don't know. For me, it's been like, yeah, I've played some new games on PC, but the majority of it has been going back to old games.
Yeah, and I think that's really what that's the prospect that excites me more, is because there have been so many games since the last time I played on PC that have come out that I just never got the chance to try, and it'd be really cool to get to play those games for myself.
Yeah.
I've been really wanting to try that Heroes of the Storm.
God, really?
Yeah, I've really been wanting to try it. Just because I don't know, it seems kind of cool.
It does seem very cool. I can't do the MOBAs.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is every time
I'm not good at MOBAs.
every time I play a MOBA, I'm like, well, I guess MOBAs aren't for me. And then a new one comes out, and then I'm like, let me try this one. And then again, I say, well, I guess MOBAs aren't for me.
I mean, I think that
Aesthetics. Aesthetics matter.
Blizzard's games tend to be pretty welcoming.
Yeah.
Not
Overwatch
always,
is
but
easier
now.
to get into than Counter-Strike, right? And I know Counter-Strike's not a hero shooter, but let's say like Quake, right? Overwatch is a hell of a lot easier to get into than Quake.
Yeah.
Diablo is a hell of a lot easier to get into than like Pillars, right?
Yeah.
Same thing like World of Warcraft compared to something like Guild Wars. Like, yeah, their games do seem more
Well, it seems like
beginner friendly.
their games very much give you that I'm helping sensation,
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I can't really say how many kills I've actually legitimately gotten in Overwatch.
Yeah.
But if I contribute to the damage of somebody, then I still get an elimination for it. So I'm still like, I'm helping.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like playing the Quake Champions beta, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Because we don't play shooters like that anymore.
Sure.
And it is very much one of those old school arena shooters, you
Yeah.
know? But yes, there are different classes,
Yeah.
characters, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of those things too. That's why every shooter that comes out to me is kind of intimidating, because I love shooters a lot, and with the exception of Battlefield, I constantly have felt like I'm a liability to whatever team I'm on, and that extends for I typically, if I get into a shooter, I play it for probably at least a year,
Sure.
like regularly. Like I've never gotten. I remember I played Modern Warfare a lot back in 2007 when that came out, and I played it for a good long time, and I never got any better. I had a good time, but I never got any better at that game. I'm not good at most games, to be honest, but with Overwatch, I felt a really cool sense of progression, and like I felt kind of like I was getting better, and I guess maybe those with it being a hero shooter and all, like I get better at using the skills and things
Sure.
like that.
I feel like you probably did get better. I'm not saying like
But other people got better too, so I still say the same.
No, it's more of like you do get better in some aspects. Like you get more familiar with the maps, so you get better muscle memory as you play it. Like it may not feel like huge strides in progress like that you would like to feel, or necessarily feel like that much of an accomplishment because it's happening gradually. But I bet you got better.
Well, and let's be honest, like competitive shooters are easier on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows how to point a mouse.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. There's fewer buttons to remember on that thing, right?
Yeah.
fighting games, I am no good at them. But
Oh man,
but I do
Revelator
like them.
2.
Tom and I are gonna start playing some Guilty Gear. You want to
Yeah,
play some Guilty Gear?
I'm down for it. I don't know what it is. I've had because with me for fighters, I feel like a lot of it is A, muscle memory, and
Yeah.
B, remembering what the combos are.
Yeah.
Well, you were really hyped on Pokken. That's
Pokken?
kind of how you joined us.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. But I don't know. Like for me, I either have a really really easy time or a really really hard time with the controls, and I feel like that's part of what my MVC3 problems were. I just like remembering the combos and like how fast paced it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like what I need to be pressing as far as muscle memory there, I made a lot of like missteps, and if you mess up obviously if you mess up one thing, the whole chain is broken.
Fighting games are it's not a welcoming genre, that's for sure.
But yeah, but I felt like I feel like Pokken's pretty easy, but it's also like something that I like.
So I was gonna ask because I spent maybe 10 minutes with Pokken, and how does the complexity of the controls of that game compare to like I don't know I guess I'll say Street Fighter.
I feel like it's more like Tekken.
More like Tekken.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense because right.
I mean, games like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear and like all these 2D fighters that have been around a long time, and even some of the newer ones, I say they're not welcoming, and they're not. Like if you think about like Street Fighter 2 when that first came out, and figuring out just character special moves, right? Back 2 seconds, forward punch, quarter circle, forward punch, whatever it might be.
Sure.
Like that's like cheats, right? Like back in the day, that's like cheats, and they add that as just a normal gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
They're not the most welcoming games. They're not the easiest to learn, but I think because of that, they are very, very satisfying when you do learn them.
Yeah. Like when I got into Killer Instinct for a while last year.
Yeah, and you were progressing.
Yeah, and that's a cool.
I did better with Killer Instinct than I did with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, and I think that the combo system in Killer Instinct is a lot easier than Mortal Kombat. But that feeling that I would get whenever I pulled off like an ultra combo for the first time.
We did like a 416 hit combo.
I remember that was the most amazing thing to me when I was a kid watching people play Killer Instinct. Cause like at the time I didn't realize that they weren't doing all those moves individually.
Well, sure.
But,
and there's always it's a complex genre, right? Like there's things to think about that the average player doesn't think about, like spacing.
Yeah.
If I'm this far away, I can attack him with this, but he could also attack me with that. Whereas
Yeah.
if I move over here, this can happen or that can happen.
Yeah.
It's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah.
That I feel like it's steeper than most genres.
But it's worth it. I just think it's
I
funny
think-
you choosing Revelator to get into. Is like Guilty Gear is a
Known
pretty
for-
complex fighting game.
Yeah, Guilty Gear is definitely known for how difficult it is.
But at the same time, I think Tom, when you and I were living together, which Guilty Gear was it that you had?
That was the original release of Xrd.
Yeah.
Revelator is like building upon that game.
Okay. Obviously I had no idea what I was doing, but I was having a really, really good time. I like those characters.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the concepts behind that game are interesting. I like the whole play aggressively to actually
To build meter.
Yeah, to build meter. That's how you win. And that was really interesting to me. And I kind of withdrew from that because one, it wasn't my game, so I didn't really want to put a whole lot of time into it. And I didn't think I was gonna buy it. And then I kind of from there I spent more time with the NetherRealm games.
Yeah.
Because during that time is also when Mortal Kombat X came out.
Right.
And I put a good amount of time into that, and I actually felt myself getting pretty good at it. And I don't know. I think that Guilty Gear would, because of its complexity, if I could wrap my mind around, a lot of the strategy behind that game, I think that's a really satisfying game to get good at.
Well, I'll say the Guilty Gear series, most of the Axis fighting games have much better tutorials than the Capcom fighting games do.
Yeah.
Teaching you the mechanics.
So I played Guilty Gear in BlazBlue. But like, I can't remember what the main. I mean, I know there was differences, but I can't honestly remember.
They're very
The-
similar. Blaze Blue is
the-
a successor to Guilty Gear.
Okay.
I mean, I can't. I just can't remember. I remember I just can't remember what the control differences were, or what the main differences in those two games were.
Like
Do
I
you
don't.
remember, Tommy?
I mean, I didn't play a lot of Blaze Blue, but I do know that it was meant to replace Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear was not
Yeah.
coming back. It was a successor to that franchise, so it's supposed to be very, very similar.
I played Blaze Blue one time in an arcade in Japan, and then I never played it again.
Yeah.
But I do remember though that those, maybe it was just me, but the fights went on for a really long time. I was like, Jesus Christ, how long am I gonna last on this 100 yen here? Because
Well, and I don't
taking a
know
long
if
time.
Blaze Blue does the same thing as Guilty Gear, but like Guilty Gear, every fight that you start, every round that you start, you have the potential to one-hit kill your opponent.
I did not know that.
Yeah. You can only try it once, and if you miss it, then you can't do it again.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm thinking of really trying harder to broaden my horizons where games are concerned, because there are a lot of games that maybe because of their type or what genre they're in, I don't try them. And I think I'm really looking to see if there's something out there that I haven't really given a chance that I would actually like.
Space games.
You're just playing the field, playing that game field.
Yeah, space games. Don't worry, I don't have any Elite Dangerous news this week, but
You know what? You should do friendly AI games.
nope. Because first of all, there's no such thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some games that I haven't really tried, that I haven't really given the chance to.
Old school point and click adventures.
Yes, actually. I think the closest I got to that most recently was Broken Age.
Yeah, Broken Age is great.
Atome games.
Yeah, to be fair, I've only ever completed one Otome, and that was with you guys. I'd be down to try another one. I'm not doing that horse boyfriend one though. That's fucking terrifying.
You don't want to play the Nightmare Boyfriend?
Nah, no, thank you. But I don't think I'm pretty sure that that's one genre that I only ever think about when I'm around you.
Well, I think there's a lot of games that you like, or I could see you being into, that are a good gateway into Atomies. Stuff like Danganronpa, I know you haven't played, but I know you like Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
I mean, Harvest Moon.
Yeah, Harvest Moon, things of that nature.
Fire Emblem.
Whereas Atomies are almost just a less gamified version of things like that.
Okay.
And I think if you are into that kind of stuff and you're looking to just relax,
Yeah, sure.
That's something you could
And
get into.
it's gonna very easily turn into me texting Shanee at 1 a.m, like, hey,
About your new boyfriend.
How do I get this boyfriend real quick?
I would totally be totally down for that. I mean, there's ones where they start out as an animal, and then you just are taking care of all these animals, and whatever one you get to like you the most, whenever they turn into people, likes you the most and tries to date you. So you can take care of some bunnies and have one of them turn into your boyfriend. There's ones where it's alternate universes. And you're going through them and trying to find that perfect boyfriend.
Shanee, what's a genre that you are not well versed in that you would like to be?
I know you play a lot of RPGs. You play a lot of Otome.
I played shooters in the past, and I don't enjoy them as much anymore. And now that
I'm sorry, what was that now?
I've played shooters. In the past, and I just don't enjoy them as much anymore. I'm not as competitive as I used to be. I've done MMOs, MOBAs. I've played a couple racing games, and I guess I would but I just you know what? I think sports games. I've never enjoyed any sports game I've ever played. Maybe because I also don't enjoy sports.
Sure.
But I have a lot of friends that do, and I think it's a fun, like, casual game to play when you're with varied company.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like, I just don't enjoy them, I would like to, like, I would like to find enjoyment in sports games.
Dude, you should like totally just like play hundreds of hours of NBA 2K and not tell your friends. So when you do hang out and you do pop it in, you're just fucking annihilating everyone.
Like
And you just pick up the controller like, oh, what is this game? What I don't know what this is.
You could be like a 2K shark, like where like they score a bunch on you at first. It's like, yeah, I'm just learning, you guys.
Hey, how do I shoot?
Yeah.
And then like,
Which side is my side?
but in the second half, just like dunking on him for like
just dunking on him. Oh man,
so,
I would love that. If that is, I don't think that's how the games actually work.
No.
I feel like there's definitely there's a way more balanced strategy in them. Because I feel like there's a lot of passing and it just like does it anyways if you just move one of the sticks. That's why when I played Madden it happened, but I didn't even know what a running back was when I played Madden.
Do you know what a running back is now?
I know he exists.
Okay.
I think all right. If I remember correctly, when the quarterback throws the football, he throws it to the running back, or there's another guy he can throw it to.
I would not be able to confirm this for you.
But then the running back tries to run, and then the blockers guys whose name I don't know.
I think
Defense.
blockers guys is probably
linemen.
accurate.
Are those linemen that do that?
Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So general football knowledge.
So what?
Actually, poor general football knowledge.
What sports have you played video game versions of?
I've tried playing FIFA. I've tried playing Madden.
Okay.
I have played NBA Jam.
Fuck yeah.
I have played. I'm also going to include boxing into these sports games.
That is a sport.
I played Fight Night. I've played Knockout. Knockout, very loosely sports game in my opinion.
Okay.
Face breakers.
Ready to Rumble boxing.
What was NBA Street on PS2?
Yes.
Nice.
I played that. No, I didn't play NBA Street. I played NFL Street on PS2.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on Mario Golf?
Never played it.
Oh man,
You've never,
so good.
That's such a surprise.
And some of
actually.
them have RPG elements.
Yeah. Have you played Mario Tennis?
Yes.
Mario Basketball?
No.
I'm pretty sure that was called 3-on-3 hoops.
My bad.
It was.
Super Mario Strikers?
Yes.
What was the base? Was it just called baseball?
I don't think that there was a standalone baseball, but I could be wrong.
I mean, if we're gonna count like Wii Sports stuff where you played baseball, then I guess like that too.
Wii bowling.
I don't know. I didn't really think about calling Mario sports games. I'm thinking more of like franchised ones. I've played.
Skate 3.
I played
That's a sports game.
the UFC.
Oh, I hate those games.
Game. And then what else have I played? None of these have I owned. I've just played it in a group in a social setting.
Sure.
I've
Same.
never bought any of these or had more than an hour.
Have you
with
played
them.
any NHL games?
No, I've never played an NHL game unless we want to count the little plastic ones they used to have at the dentist's office.
Nope. So you mentioned also racing games.
Yeah, racing games. I
feel like you'd be more into the arcadey ones and not so much the sim ones.
I'm actually pretty good at the arcade ones. I kick Berta's ass almost every time.
Got some Burnout. Got some.
Yeah, I'm really good at those.
What's the other one?
Ridge Racer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not super well versed in them.
Need for Speed.
I don't know franchises. I don't.
Well,
know,
you know that
the way-
Wipeout collection's coming out. Let's all get into the competitive Wipeout scene.
That'd be
Sure.
cool if we were professional
Can I
Wipeout
get us-
artists.
Can I get us
Wipists.
Can I get us
Yeah,
jackets?
Sure.
Yeah.
That
If you
say,
wanna-
that
if you
say the
wanna-
wipest?
Yeah. If you want to front the cash for
Pen
that.
pals.
They're
The
gonna
B
be
sharps.
They're gonna be satin.
I think that it's really cool to find new games new types of games that you wouldn't play, and sometimes it can be satisfying, but at the same time it's just kind of intimidating, especially when it comes to sports games.
Nah, I mean if you're no good at it, maybe you can still have fun. And if you can't have fun, fucking move on.
Sure.
Big deal.
Hey, do you guys ever?
Not everything's for everyone.
Do you guys ever have that?
But it'd also be nice to like find a way to enjoy them, just because I think that it would be fun to like be in those social situations, and like even if I'm not good at it, if people are playing games, I'm gonna join in.
Right.
I mean, I've mentioned it before. I like playing Brawl, but every single time I play it, my whole goal is just is because everyone I play with is always like really, really, really good. And
So you just try to keep away from them.
no, so I just try to be as annoying as possible and not die first.
I feel like you're probably successful at that.
Those are my goals. I am not always successful at not dying first.
Well, the way to win is to always play as Kirby. So
You gotta suck them.
yeah, you got to suck them, and then you suck them. You suck them some more.
I suck them and then they just and it hit me off the cliff or
Get that Luigi.
I
poke.
always have this. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but every time a game has online competitive multiplayer,
Yeah.
I always have a little bit of anxiety sitting in that lobby waiting for the game to start.
I don't on a good portion of like the Assassin's Creed online thing.
Like if I've never
the
played it
BioShock.
before, it's kind of like
I get
I'm always hyped.
I do
Yeah.
I do get intimidated by games that are online initially. Like I'm gonna be honest, I like part of the reason I've been so hesitant about getting PUBG is just because I don't know if I'll be good at it, and it's like I don't have like an offline mode to practice.
Well, Berto said
And-
interesting about PUBG last week, in that, like, Ryan asked him if you were not good at this game, would you still want to play it? And his response was that he would still like to play it because of the people he's playing with. And I think that's very true. Like, even if you're not good at a game, if you're having fun with your friends, it can be awesome.
yeah.
But the anxiety of just being so bad, just being like, sorry guys,
Well, I
and,
think
like
that's the-
having people I know and like actually feel like
That's not
like-
that's not lessened when you're playing with people you know. Because I feel like that would ease that anxiety. For
if,
me.
Yeah.
if it's people I don't know, then I don't give a shit about them because I'm
Sure.
never gonna be around them.
Well,
But
then,
if-
like, if it's like a new shooter or a new fighting game and it's just me versus whoever, like without my friends or whatever.
I don't care about it at all.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. To me, it's like jump in early, right? Preferably, you can buy that game day one, so you're on you have an even footing, right?
Sure.
And just know that you're gonna lose a lot. It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
You know.
And losing doesn't really, and I don't know what it is because the losing doesn't bother me. I think it's maybe
Unless I cause it, the losing doesn't bother me.
yeah.
If I cause it, then I'm just like, ah.
Berto and I, when we were playing PUBG last night, we jumped out of the plane, and he says he's never seen this before, and he's played many hours of this game. Somehow, I just like crippled myself upon landing and died immediately.
You
know?
Did you not open your shooting time?
It automatically opens it for you if you
Does
don't
it?
open it.
Okay.
With the shoot, I like crippled myself upon landing and died. And he's like, I've never seen that happen. I'm like, well,
There was a pebble,
you know.
and
You're
you
a
landed right
trailblazer.
on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think on PC I'm probably going to be apt to play shooters more often than I do.
I
Especially,
think so too.
Especially considering what was the game that we were talking about that we were talking about some shooter last week, and because Super Hot.
Uh-huh.
Because you were like, so what is it like on Xbox? I was like, it's actually harder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple of things, right? Like we talked about this last week with shooters on PC. You were literally pointing a cursor, which just about anybody has done hundreds of thousands of times throughout their life, right?
No.
Whereas on console, you're moving with an analog stick, which for certain games is fine. With certain games, it's better than a mouse.
Yeah.
But for shooters, it's not, and that's why console shooters typically have some sort of
Aim
lock-on aim assist,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think you would do better. Do I think that that's going to make you awesome at these games all of a sudden? No.
It might.
But, you know.
Oh man, what was the brand that was making the quick fire controllers during Call of Duty World at War?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Quickfire.
Yeah, there was not quick fire, rapid fire, but there's rapid fire controllers that like. I remember World at War is like the earliest that I can remember
So every
that
pistol
being
is
like
a machine pistol.
that. I just remember that being.
I mean, Scuff did some of that stuff, but really not. Like, they're kind of who added the pedals
Yeah.
originally.
I just remember that being around the first time I ever saw those rapid fire controllers being sold commercially,
Yeah.
not just like online.
Yeah. Um, Tom, do you have any genres that you don't really touch because?
I mean, there's definitely genres I don't touch. I don't know that I have much of a desire to, though.
Yeah.
Like MOBAs. Like, I guess, I don't know, I have some friends from work that play a lot of Smite.
Yeah.
So I went through the tutorial for Smite, which it's a pretty lengthy tutorial, and by the end of it I was just like, no, I'm good, I mean, that being said, I would love to see, and I've recently seen some newer takes on certain genres, that help get me into those, so.
Yeah. I'm thinking I might revisit RTS games, not StarCraft.
Yeah.
But
I would, that's a good one. I would like to be good at RTS.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm good at, regular turn-based strategy like
Yeah.
XCOM and Fire Emblem.
I like RTS. I like RTS a lot.
But with the
but
remake, the remaster, or whatever it is for StarCraft, I might try my hand.
yeah.
I love RTSs just because I think it's because I'm so ADD that I like that I have to be engaged.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and I mean, I also like management games, like resource management
Oh
games.
God, me too, man.
So
Kingdom for Keflings all day.
so I feel like that a lot of that applies to like that same or same mentality in some aspects, like really applies to RTSs in a
Yeah.
good way that I feel like make that same thought process that I use for resource management is the same one I do for like RTSs, and I do pretty decently at it.
I've been trying to figure out what genre this is for maybe a month or so now, but I was playing this game kind of recently, and it's called Pie in the Sky, and you basically
Oh, I've heard about that recently.
yeah, you're basically delivering pizzas in space.
Mm.
And I was like, and like every time you deliver the pizzas, like if you because you're basically shooting the pizzas out of the side of your ship or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I think you were telling us about this.
I don't know, maybe.
Is there a timer?
No, you just go until like you collide with something and die, and then it tells you how well you did or whatever.
So it's Paperboy.
It's kind of like Paperboy, yeah. So, in fact, it is exactly Paperboy in
Yeah.
space with pizzas.
Did I just blow your mind?
A little bit. 'Cause I somehow never drew those parallels before. But I was wondering, like, because I very much like the idea of delivering things in video games and getting a bonus or points or whatever. I just really like games like that.
Yeah.
And in my experience, they're very few and far between. And I'm just like, what genre is that?
I mean, it's just a very, I don't know what you would call it, but I can think of a lot of old arcade games and like 2600 games that are very similar,
Yeah.
Like what you just described, outside of not having a timer, but you're saying delivering things and getting bonuses and all that. Like that's Crazy Taxi, like.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like I want something like that, and I want to find more games like that.
Sure.
But I don't know how to search for them.
Yeah.
I guess I could say games like Paperboy, but
Arcade.
you can
like
also,
I know arcade is a very, broad term, but
sure. But I want like
If you want actual suggestions from people, you could always get into Reddit and make a thread about it.
get into
Shanee,
Reddit.
are you getting paid from
Yeah,
Reddit?
do they pay you?
I'm not going to discuss that due to an agreement with somebody I have.
With Reddit, with
No.
Mr.
With Mr. Reddit.
Mr. Reddit. I think
Why can't it be Mrs.?
because it can't. But I think that if I could, I feel like I'd be happy for a while if I could find a good amount of games that operated on that premise.
Sure.
Like, one of the, okay, for a moment, it's going to come back to Elite Dangerous for a second. But one of the things that you can do in Elite Dangerous is just deliver goods or whatever. And I
Or prisoners.
Yes, or prisoners, yes. And I got really into that aspect of the game, and I was like, I would love for a game to be just this.
Yeah. But like
they're hard to
Shanee said
find.
earlier, like a lot of it is how you play a certain game.
Sure.
Like finding different ways to play a game. Like that might not be the whole point to Elite Dangerous, but if you like it that much,
It could
there's
just make-
nothing wrong with you just doing that.
Yeah.
If that's how you enjoy that game, then so what?
Yeah, sure. I do remember there was something kind of
It's like Grand Theft Auto, right? Like a lot of people don't play Grand Theft Auto like you're supposed to.
yeah.
They don't do the story missions and all that. A lot of people just fuck around and drive around and kill things and like if
taxi
that's-
missions are kind of
if that's
cool.
how they're having fun, hey,
Yeah.
whatever.
I remember Grand Theft Auto 3, and I don't know if they did this in later games, but Grand Theft Auto 3 had a thing where you could drive an ambulance and you could just drive around like picking people up in your ambulance, and
Really?
it was neat, you know. They're all mysteriously gunshot wound victims, but
It's a bad part of town.
but yeah, it'd be cool to find more games like that, and I I want to find, and that's kind of where I am at with this whole roguelike thing, because I keep finding one that I'm just like, maybe this is, and I don't know if I'm searching for the perfect one, like subconsciously, like I'm searching for the perfect roguelike, which isn't a thing, I'm sure, but
I think roguelikes in general, you just have to put a lot of time in,
yeah.
you know, before you like actually really get into it.
Yeah, because I'm looking for one where the mechanics speak to me in like a really meaningful way. Like,
And that helps too, right? Like I got into Rogue Legacy pretty quickly, and I wasn't good at it at first. I did real bad at first, you know, but I liked the mechanics. It plays similar to Castlevania,
Right.
which is right up my alley, you know.
Right.
But
and I think that your affinity for 2D platformers definitely helped with that. too.
sure, yeah.
And I'm not that into 2D platformers, which I guess is why I didn't spend a whole lot of time with that game. I've been like, I want to find like I think my favorite form of the roguelike is like as a dungeon crawler.
Well, what about what the fuck was that game? Let It Die.
Yeah.
You were into that for like a minute.
Yeah, Let It Die was really fun. And I'm not even sure why I stopped playing. Shanee, real quick before I forget, would you consider Darkest Dungeon to be a roguelike?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a new DLC for that was just announced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Because I've been meaning to get back
wanna,
to that game.
yeah, I want to pick it up again because even since like I picked it, I think I told y'all like a month ago I picked it back up, or like a little bit more
Yeah.
than a month ago. Time flies. I don't even. But yeah, I played like a couple. I played it for a couple days or like a week, and then I put it back down.
Oh shit, Shanee! Before I forget, the Don't Starve franchise is on sale. Like all of their stuff is on sale.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tell Bert about that. That might be what we do tonight because we're gonna hang out tonight.
Well, you got that Steam card, you know.
Is Don't Starve a roguelike?
I've never played Don't Starve.
Would you consider it a roguelike, Shanee?
It's a survival game, survival roguelike.
But don't. Okay. Because I can't remember if you can die more than once in that game.
You can. Like if Don't Starve Together, you can.
Yeah.
I've never played like the regular Don't Starve, but when Don't Starve Together, like if you die, you can like your teammate is still alive. There's multiple things they could do to like bring you back. There's like altars. There's like a little stone, like a little philosopher's stone you can make, and bring them. And then
The Kiss of a Rose, perhaps.
Yes.
da-da-da, sorry. Brr, brr.
my
Anyway,
God.
sorry.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't heard the Cher voice in a while.
That was
I aim to keep it that way.
just like Seal, like
Sure.
spot on.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, you can be brought back. But I do think it's cool though, because if you're a ghost and like you haunt specific items, like if you haunt spiders and like the other person that's alive kills them, then like you get an item like every single time.
Yeah.
And then some of them will not drop some items if you've haunted them before. So, I mean, I think it's fun that they bring your death into an actual gameplay mechanic.
Tom, have you played survival games outside of like in depth? Have you played survival games outside of Minecraft?
Not really. Not really. No. Like I've tried plenty of them.
Yeah.
Just didn't care for them. I feel like the majority of them lack polish,
Yeah.
but no, not that I can think of.
Like, because I'm wondering, because there are things like obviously the main draw of Minecraft is kind of just doing with the world whatever you want.
I disagree.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And I feel like the reason I liked Minecraft and the reason I'm not so into survival games nowadays is because when the Minecraft alpha was out, it was like the fucking Old West.
Oh, Discovery.
Yeah, like you didn't know shit. Nobody knew shit. People were all finding it out at the same time. And that doesn't happen anymore.
So that actually...
You know, like overnight you can find a complete guide now for a game that just launched.
Yeah. That actually reminds me of something that I wanted to ask you guys today. So with Minecraft, like Tom, you were playing it, you know, as you said, like during its alpha and have played multiple iterations of the game since then.
Sure.
And all those iterations since have kind of just told you like how to make this and how to make
I
that.
mean, not true. Like the
Okay.
PC version, I believe, still does not
Okay.
give
But, like,
you like recipes and shit like that. But like
the console.
you
and
can
the
find it no problem now.
Yeah.
You know, whereas back then, Minecraft Alpha was a long time ago.
But
it was
that-
a lot harder to. You know.
But that built-in accessibility is certainly there with the later versions of the game. And this
Yeah, well, like the console version straight up tell you how to make things.
Right.
You know.
And it also reminded me of before Dark Souls 3 came out, there was a conversation about asking people like, would you still play Dark Souls if they included an easy mode?
I remember that.
And like people seem to react negatively to making like their sacred game more accessible to other people who might not have tried it. Do you guys think that's had like any kind of adverse effect really? Because I feel like if I don't want to play easy mode, I just won't play easy mode.
And you know, that's what I said when we first talked about this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I can kind of see where those people are coming from.
Just I can understand their perspective, but that doesn't mean I agree with it.
Yeah.
So like
I also agree that like just don't play easy mode, but I do understand if because from what I get from it, this is what I understand is that like it's about the integrity of the game. It's about what this game was meant to be, how the developer and creator wanted it to be like originally.
right.
And then because people couldn't cope with what it was, they're like the developers were thinking about making it easier for them.
I think it depends on what it is. Like when you look at Capcom fighters that released mid to late last generation, Capcom was trying to make it more accessible for people, right? So there'd be things like one button special moves and even one button short little combos. The 3DS version of Super Street Fighter 4, you could like tap a section of the touchscreen to pull off a small little combo.
Yeah.
And to me, that I despise.
Right.
Because I put in my time with that shit to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
And granted, yes, a good Street Fighter player is going to still beat somebody that has that available to them.
Because
But it's a bit annoying.
Like while control schemes like that do cordon off, large portions of the moveset from you, it still makes it so like you can just pull off combos whenever you want.
Sure.
Which, as you said, like it takes time to learn how to do that shit manually. And that I feel, and I can definitely see the argument there.
But with something like Souls, where it's
just me.
predominantly single player experience, I don't really see why it matters.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you don't want that, don't play it that way.
Yeah, but then I guess I never considered the perspective of, well, this is what the creators meant for it to be, and I guess instead of letting people decide, well, I guess Dark Souls isn't for me.
And we've talked a lot about creators' intent.
Yeah.
Over the past few shows. That being said, if they are deciding to put that in the game,
That's creators' intent.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also people don't like change.
I mean, of course, there's always like people that say, well, maybe Bandai Namco is telling them to put that in the game. Maybe they don't want to, but Bandai Namco wants to sell it to a broader audience, so they're telling them. But we're never going to know that.
Yeah. And I guess it's selling just fine as is. So, I don't know. I never really felt like making a game, because one of the things that I always see is, in terms of accessibility to a game, people get upset, like, exclusives specifically. Like people would get really upset when well, this used to be an Xbox exclusive, but now it's coming to PS4 or vice versa, right?
Sure.
And people would get like actively angry about that. It's like, you're angry about more people being able to play this game.
I don't know that it's necessarily always that. Like, I've talked a lot about Insomniac over the recent years, right? And like, they were Sony second party. So like, Sony did not own them, but they made their games for Sony and nobody else.
Right.
Then they started with Sunset Overdrive for Microsoft, and then Song of the Deep with Game Trust.
Right.
And to me, I guess I'd always felt like Sony is a big part of the reason for their success at all in this industry.
Sure.
Sony's their big bro.
So it seemed almost like a slap in the face, but at the same time, it's like, well, I have nothing to do with that relationship.
Yeah.
So why should it matter to me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that also.
Unless it affects what games you might be able to get later.
Sure.
Well, and I guess one of the reasons, the primary reason to choose one console over the other, I think, is because of the exclusives, and the number of exclusives that come out for the console do help to justify that purchase.
Yeah.
And then now that I think about it, as we're talking about it, if the number of those exclusives dwindles, then that's taken away your justification for that purchase.
But like, that relationship obviously is not in a bad place, right? Like, they're making the new Spider-Man specifically for PlayStation.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, like, especially with the Sony studios. I feel like I've invested so much time into them that I feel ownership over them when I really shouldn't,
They're my Sony.
But yeah, exactly.
It's mine.
And at the same time, I get pissed when Sony sells off some of these studios or closes some of them, right?
Yeah.
Like Big and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Who was MotorStorm?
MotorStorm is Evolution?
I think so, because I think that
Let's find out.
yeah. Well, let's do a quick goog. Who made?
Yeah, Evolution.
Do they also make Drive Club?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that can be upsetting for a few reasons. Like, yeah, you don't want to. Of course, you don't ever want to see a studio close and people lose their jobs. But I mean, that also means like, well, I'm probably not gonna get more of these games that I really like.
Well, and the good thing about that, I mean, it's not a good thing, but like, a lot of the studio closures that Sony has done over the past few years, whether it's Evolution or Big or whoever it might be, like, those are some of the best developers in the industry.
Yeah.
They will easily get picked up by other studios.
Yeah. Maybe I'd like to see a spiritual successor to MotorStorm.
Yeah.
Maybe not gonna, but I'd like to. But yeah, I don't know. I think that it's very easy, especially as time goes on, it's easier to form like an involuntary emotional response to a lot of the shit. But I think that, of course, there's a lot of it from where I've witnessed it and from what I've seen it. A lot of it is a lot of kind of some misplaced entitlement too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I do think it's ridiculous that I feel this way,
Yeah.
specifically about Sony Studios.
Yeah.
But I do.
Yeah. It doesn't stop you from feeling that way.
Yeah. I put a
You
lot of,
still
I put a lot of
feel your
time. Like, I've
feelings.
put many years into these studios and learning about them and learning who's at the helm and
Yeah.
And
just for all that to evaporate is
Yeah.
kind of, I can see that. But anyway, I guess that's our time this week, guys.
All right.
But as always, it's a fun time talking to you both, and it's a fun time sharing with you guys at
I
home.
really missed you this last
in the
2
car.
weeks.
It's weird when you're not here.
It's weird when I keep feeling like off whenever I don't show up.
But to be fair, it's pretty rad having Berto here too. So
Yeah, I was at least I got a good replacement.
yeah.
Look forward to a decent amount of E3 coverage coming up.
Yeah.
We will most likely stream or have live reactions to the major conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of us just saying, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Oh
shit.
no.
Anyway, guys, thank you again for listening to the Save Continue podcast. As always, it's a pleasure. See you
Bye-bye.
next week.
Bye.